What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the first game analysis of the 2023 season for Flower City Union. This is the US Open Cup. This is our second round, I believe, or third round. I'm not sure which one, but we are playing a semi-professional team from the New York, so Manhattan area. And it is a good game. Lots of interesting themes to go over from the left back position where I am starting, and we'll go from there. So without further ado, let's hop into the video. What we're going to do is very similar to the other game analysis. I'm going to do essentially stop and start in moments that I think are good to go over and good to talk about, and then other than that, we'll just be pretty straightforward here. All right, so let's play. All right, so I'll mute this as well. So this is the kickoff. They had kickoff, and the ball comes straight over to my side. I thought this was a foul right in the back, but it's all good. So the winger wins the ball, and he's a very good player actually out of Manhattan, one of a young talent. So that'll be a good matchup, and they get a corner out of it. Next play. So this is just getting really close to my man, making sure that I'm reacting, putting pressure on him, and then we win back possession and get out. Little free kick there, just back to the 6. Nothing too crazy. All right. So, and I'm going to pause here. Okay. So really quick. So this is a scenario where I am inverting. You can see our winger right here, or maybe that's our 10, is pulling into the wide area. There's a lot of rotations that you can use in a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, all those different styles of possession. You can even turn like a 4-3-3 into a 4-2-3-2, kind of, if I'm doing my math correctly. Yeah. And so there's all sorts of rotations that can happen. So sometimes if you guys watch Arsenal or if you guys watch Man City, you guys will see the fullback sometimes inverting. That happens with us as well sometimes, especially when we're going to have the lion's share of possession, so the majority of possession. Oftentimes in those games, you'll see me invert and get the ball almost as a double pivot, so almost as a double 6, and the same thing happens on our other side as well. So it just depends on the scenario, but you guys will see this picture a lot where I'm actually in the center. I'm in a central position on the pitch, so, and we'll play. So just receiving the ball, playing it back to our 6, and then we get to the other side. You see me pointing, and then this is going to be a longer little clip. So ball gets out, and then I'm just putting pressure, driving to the byline, and we get that's a card actually straight away. Wow, super close into the game, but we get a free kick out of that. So great opportunity there, just putting pressure. Ball comes over, and as you can see, I'm pointing. There we go, little bounce. And what that does is that just is making the player, so I'm going to pause actually here. Those little bounces, it depends on the philosophy of coaching, obviously, but the way that I love to play and the way that our coach has us play is sometimes you just probe. Sometimes you just have probing passes, and that's super great as well. So, all right, so we will play here and just putting pressure on, playing it back to our center back and gaining possession back in the field. All right, now I'm noticing, okay, outside back gets the ball, putting pressure onto that winger, and then doing the same thing here. So this is another opportunity for us. Going up, we end up winning possession, I think, out of this. Yeah, perfect. All right, so very good. Going up against 2 players, so that's a little rough, but all good. And then throwing it back to our center back to retain possession in their half. All right, so this is, I'm making that run forward. No problem there. That was a great ball from our number 10, who had tucked wide, as you can see, and then I make the inside run. And then here we go. So I'm giving the ball back to him, and we get, hopefully, I'm just putting pressure, and you can't really see it, can you? Bummer. Okay. Oh, here we go. There you go. And then I'm just going to win it, force to the byline, get a really good cross in the middle, and just, potentially our 10 could have taken that first time, but oh well. So again, just putting constant pressure on them. Now I'm going to get the ball from our center back, turn. You see me check my shoulder. All good things there. Drive forward into space and just relax on the ball a little bit. Play into our 9 as he checks in. Make that run forward into the empty space, and we go from there. Lose possession, unfortunately, there, but that's all right. You can see me making that run again off the 9, getting possession back. Good ball on the ground. We get a corner out of it. I probably could have lofted that up, but that's a bummer. Okay, so I actually get a yellow card here. I lose that one-on-one battle. Okay, so we're going to pause here. All right, so that's a situation where I just need to be really close to him, about a arm's length of space, I guess, away from him, but I don't want to get turned in that area. We do have support from my left side center back, but that is a situation where I just can't have him spin me like that. If I get a chance to rewind this and put the clip over in slow-mo, you guys can see kind of how I got off balance and was too close to him, and he just took the ball. He was a little lucky because I did have a touch on that first one, but that's just to keep in mind, and it's getting the timing right and the spacing right between, okay, I want to be touch tight to you, but I want to be able to see the ball so that if that touch goes away, I can kind of knock you and get behind. Does that make sense? So that's kind of my thinking about this play. And then he just runs across me. So fair play on his part. I didn't think that was a foul. That was my first foul of the game, and I don't think he was in a position. We had our center back coming over, so yeah, maybe. But I also went like this as soon as he ran across me, and he just tripped and fell. So whatever, the ref called it, and we go from there. So all right, so we'll play. So they're gonna get the free kick. I think I just let this play. Might as well. But yeah, so interesting yellow card, but that's all right. It's pretty early in the game as well, so I just have to be cautious from there on. Maybe not the best decision. Should have let him go, but that's all right. Next one is, again, just putting pressure, double teaming a guy and just playing that ball out of possession, into our player so we can go to the other side of the field. Again, same ball. You'll see this happen a lot of times. The outside back gets the ball, and I'm just going to put tons of pressure on that winger to make him play either backwards or sideways. And then again, there, and we don't get possession, unfortunately, but at least it's putting pressure on. So this is me getting the ball in a central area, playing it outside to our number 10, who does a fantastic job of getting that 1v1 ball in the middle. Unfortunately, we lose it there, but that's all right. And then again, I'm just chasing, making sure that he doesn't get any sort of space moving forward, and I think they foul us. So here's that same play again. It always starts. And then that's a great example, so we'll pause. Okay, so that's a fantastic example right there. All you guys watching who are number 10s or number 8s, if you watched, the winger went wide, so I followed him. That leaves a gap where I am. It's either the center back who was too deep, or not too deep, he was in a great position, but he was too deep for the play in order to get all the way to the runner, that number 8 or number 10 or whoever on the white team. But our midfielder was following and was able to put pressure. So if you watch the way that he was able to just recover, that was perfect timing defensively. And we'll press play there. And again, just getting pressure, and then he has to play backwards. Same idea here. I just grab the ball and drive forward. Don't see any options, so I'm just going to keep driving. Lose possession here, and then I think that's a foul as well, which is a bummer. But again, just putting pressure on the ball. That's probably my fault. I just don't want to get countered there. Little ball into the 10, and bummer. All right, so ball comes out. I'm getting really wide this time, so more conventional fullback. First touch wasn't excellent, but that's all right. Keep it, and then we just play back to our goalkeeper from there and keep possession. So I get a ball really quick from the center back. I turn and play, and all right, so I'm going to pause it right as it hits there. So just looking at this play, we have a 3v3 on the left side and a 2v3 or 2v4 even. We're down 2v4 in the box. So crossing that ball, if I'm going to cross that ball, both of our players were sort of mid to back post. So I really needed to get it at least past the first man or two in order to give our center forward and our 10 a chance. That being said, if you look at the numbers that we have 4 guys right in sort of a little triangle or a diamond or a box area to kind of keep preventative cover. But we have a really nice tight 3v3 here on the left side with the preventative cover of a lot of men forward. So they are really compact behind the ball. And honestly, I rate us as a possession team to be able to break down a 3v3 like that. So it was probably a better option to either retain possession through the center back, go to the other side and try to shift them over because numbers had already come to our side. That cross was a decent ball. There were just no one. It was a good ball. No one was in the area that I hit it, and I should have hit it in the far post. That's the bottom line. All right, so we'll play. And then I'm going to keep this rolling because we actually win possession back here. So again, making sure that I'm on my mark, preventative cover. This ball comes out from the goalkeeper, and this is just winning that ball, trying to play it into the area. Probably should have just gone back to the center back, but that's all right. And then this is just making sure, tackling, making sure he doesn't get any further forward, which is all right. This ball was played in behind. Good run by the winger, to be fair. And then it's just defending, showing him inside because he's very left-footed. And then they get an opportunity out of that, I think. So, and just make sure, so I'll pause right here. I know this play wasn't super important. It was just a ball over the top. But one of the things that you always notice as a fullback, you should know within literally the first time the player touches the ball, whether he's right-footed or left-footed. Ideally, if you have film, so if you're a college team, if you're somebody from a college team or a professional team or even a semi-pro team nowadays, or even a youth team, the games are being filmed more, which is fantastic. Do your research, know what foot your player that's coming up against you is, and then show him the opposite direction. So I wanted to show a left-footed player down the line. If he decides to cut back, by the time he decides to cut back, we had a center back there. Yes, he played it across the 18. That's fine, so long as we have numbers there to clear the ball away. They didn't get, obviously, a goal from that area, and I'll show you guys all the goals that happen in the game as well. But the idea being, make sure to show them to the weak foot, because that's always really a much better option for you. All right, so we'll play. So just a little clearance out of bounds there. Next one, little throw, and we'll see where this ball goes. Okay, so right into our there, and then I'm just gonna pop this up into space, and we retain possession there, so no problems. All right, so this is just defending, getting back, double teaming, and then bodying the guy so that we can reset with our goalkeeper. Nothing crazy there. And then I turn and I'm just like, hey, give me the ball. And then drive forward. So pause. All right, so this was an opportunity where I think our number 7 really, I should have just given him the ball straight away. I should have turned and hit it up the line, because our number 7, not literally number 7, but the player on the left side, the left winger, is very techie. So he's able to beat guys 1v1 pretty easily. So that could have been a really good ball. But again, I think right now for me, it's 0-0 still, and I just wanted to keep possession of the ball. So we'll play it into our 9, who then is able to turn out of it and really go forward, which is awesome. All right, so this is just me touching the ball back to our center back, retaining possession. As you can see, we're in there half a ton. I'm pointing over to the winger, so center back now plays the winger, or excuse me, that's our number 10. Then he plays it internally to me, player 9, who's able to spin and get out of it there and keep possession. So good dynamic play, again, with those rotations. It's really difficult for teams to get that going. All right, so throw it back to our center back, nothing crazy there. And I think our goal is coming up soon as well. So this is just running across, little touch, plays. I really wanted that ball more outside, and I told him that out afterwards. All right, so I think this is our goal maybe. Ball out to the winger, make that overlapping run. We're both in the same area of the field, myself in the 10, so maybe not the best positioning. Flick it to our 10, and then I get possession back, and then this time just keep possession, make sure we're rotating the ball around, which is great. So, and then now, see, it's a little bit smarter. We're keeping the ball in that area, and then he turns, plays a ball over, and then this is just recovering backwards. So making sure that I'm bodying this player, recover, putting pressure on him, pressure, and then he ends up kicking. I end up blocking his little cross out for a throw in. So totally fine defensively there, just making sure I'm getting it out, which is good. All right, next one was just a little header there, so defensive header. Now getting it from the opposite side center back, driving forward, playing on the outside. So again, getting that overlap, really trying to put constant pressure on them. This is a much better ball, so really right into that area, and then they have to get a diving header to hit it out. So, and then we get a free kick there, which is awesome. All right, here's our goal. So cross comes in, and then unbelievable strike from our number 10. Boom, back post. Fantastic goal. Stephen Elias, great player, and just a dime of a hit. Really, really good. So that was our first goal of the game. Really awesome. As you can see, fans are super excited about it, which was sick. So very, very, very stoked to get that going right away. All right, here we go. Getting close to my man and then just shadowing him out. No problem. Okay, now winning the ball here. And then I'm going to play it forward actually instead of the goalkeeper, because I just want to get possession going forward, which is great. Turn, play the ball. That's from our number 10. And then this ball, pause. Okay, so in the video, I don't know, maybe I'll play it back for you guys. I'll like pause this feature and play it back with the full audio. You can hear my coach screaming at me. And to be fair, he's right. We could have kept the ball in that area. I saw two players that could have hit this ball. So my aim was actually the number 10. So you can see him reaching for the ball right now. And then the number 9 was in that same lane. So I was trying to fizz it in because we had basically a 2v2 there attacking their two center backs. And I really felt that that was the right decision to go forward. My coach afterwards, and you can hear it on the audio, goes, "Noah, keep the effing ball." Like he screamed at me, and I was like, fair enough, like totally fair. And I don't think he saw what I saw in that moment, but again, that's totally his. Yeah, he's right on that one. Probably should have just played it to my number 10 in the pocket of space here, or even played it back to our center back and just kept retained possession. But again, I was trying to be aggressive. I wanted to be going forward, try to get that ball on the ground, really whip it into that space where our number 10 could take the ball because he was on flames this game. So, all right, here we go, and we'll play. So again, both players probably could have gotten to the ball, but that's okay. All right, next one, little defensive. Yep, there we go. Just putting pressure on it, and then our 10 does a great job of getting back. So this is just making a run forward, and our number 10 gets the ball. So overlapping, creating tons of space. He's going to drive inside. I'm in wide open space, but that's totally cool because that's the whole point. I'm going to stay wide just because we have preventative cover in this area. And then as we get countered, we're able to win the ball back in a great area. And our number 10 is able to play it wide, and then ball comes in, and we get our second goal. Same Stephen Elias again. That's his second one. So again, I didn't touch the ball that entire play, but I was, number one, wide open. I made the run, so I was an available option for that left-sided winger. And our number 10 did a great job of retaining possession. Our team was able to collapse and get really good preventative cover, and we went from there. So awesome. Little bounce with the 6. So really super simple. That'll show up in my season highlight video, right? Ball comes across, and as it's coming across, I'm like, okay, now I can release. Right? So now the ball comes over, and then I'm going to get the ball, I think. There we go. Yep. And just totally fluff that cross. That was horrible. I was so pissed at myself. So good run, good area, but just execution wasn't there. Okay. Now we are going the other direction. All right. So there we go. Back into the 6. So this is the second half now, turning, playing our center back who's now in space and can drive forward. That's one of the reasons why the rotation is so great. All right. So now I'm making that run inside again, and their center back just has to hit it out because I'm putting pressure on there. And then I'll get that throw in and just play a really, I think, let's see where it goes here. Yeah, right into our 9, and then we're able to retain possession there, so no problem. All right, ball comes out to me, drive inside, back to our center back. Again, just trying to retain possession here, get opportunities. And for me, that's my biggest thing. One of my biggest strengths on the ball is retaining possession, but also my engine. I can run and run and run, and I'm pretty fast. So being able to get myself into opportunities where, and as you can see, now I'm in an inside position and I'm able to go to the other side. So that's a great way that the rotation works, right? So high and wide to inside, break the line, and then we go out the other way. Ball comes out to our 10, so he plays me one time, which is awesome, and then I'm just going to drive at the guy and get a corner kick out of it. So pretty compact. I probably could have hit back post there. There was a back post man, but no worries on that one. All right, so ball comes over, just going to head it back, and then as his momentum's carrying him forward, I'm going to get the ball back and drive forward and just keep possession of the ball here, put my foot on it, and get to the 9, which is great. So great ball there, great play. And then we just keep the possession of the ball, and then it goes out, I believe, the other way. Perfect. There we go. Get the ball out to, and then that ball, okay, so pause. So that was just a miss, one of those situations where the 9 thought I was going further forward. I was trying to hold preventative cover, caught in 2 different minds, and it was just one of those things. We talked about it after the game, and it's nowheres. But again, being on the same page as your other players is super important for obvious reasons. But also, it's just one of those things where it was just a miscue. So no worries there. And again, some themes that I'm seeing here, retaining possession of the ball, really making sure that I'm super close to my man. So trusting that the guys behind me are going to rotate in behind. So if my winger goes wide or if he checks two, I'm going with him. That space behind me that I've now vacated has to be either a guy that's following in with the runner or it's the center back shifting over, which I trust my teammates to do that. And they've been awesome so far. So those are just a couple themes as well. From an outside back's perspective though, it's going to depend on how you guys want to play and how your coach wants to play. I'm a little bit more of a hybrid. So some guys are like, you have to stay wide the whole time. Fair enough. And I've been doing that a little bit and making lots of runs, being an option for my teammates and giving the ball to the creative players to help them do the magic and then just be sort of an accessory to that. So being able to get in positions where I can cross the ball, where I can play balls in behind, play balls through lines, all that stuff. All right, so we'll play. Next one here, so I'm calling for the ball. Ball comes over to me in a little more advanced position, but I'm just gonna turn because I don't see any options that I find are good. Get the ball back, bounce it, and again, just probing, just kind of retaining possession, making them shift and run as well. So I'm gonna get the ball here, turn, play the center back again, and we'll go out to the other side. There you go. So get somebody out of position, and then we'll go from there. All right, this is a situation where I'm going to just drive backwards because I don't really see any options. Play that 6. He's going to play me back, and then I'll play the 6 in so we can get out the other direction, which is great. So that's good retaining possession there. All right. Right into our 10. So just clearing the ball right into our 10. I saw him in open space, and then we go from there, break out the other side. All right, so this is our 10 playing the ball. There we go. So he's going to drive in, play the ball beautifully into my path. And then instead of driving, I'm just going to keep the ball because we're 2-0 up at this point, and I just don't want to get all freak out. And then this ball, I get tackled, lose it unfortunately, and then I think this ends up being a foul. One of the things that I got super frustrated in this game, honestly, was the ref. Ever since that yellow card, every time I feel like I touched. So pause. Okay, really quick. This, I believe, is their goal. And I think I came out. Yes. Okay, so the last play there where I lost possession of the ball and then made a foul. So that was actually my last touch of the ball in general. Made a couple good combos there and then just got tackled from one of my blind sides, I guess. Again, my fault. I should have kept the ball. And I swear, the referee that we had ever since that yellow card was just up my you-know-where, literally just every time I touched a guy, it was foul, foul, foul. And I wasn't being hyper aggressive. As you guys know, I don't want to get a red card for obvious reasons. And every single time I got a defensive play, it was like, oh, foul, oh, foul, oh, foul. And I told him, I said, dude, you're going after me for no reason. Like, I'm not fouling. This is a physical game. This is a man's game. And he just started, going out. He was a shocker. But anyway, okay, so now we're into this. I'm just going to let this one play kind of without any audio. You'll just see me kind of watching this go. But this is their goal. There's a couple different mistakes here. I don't really want to go over them because that's not the point of this. This is about me, not about any other guys on the field. But I actually got subbed off here. It's number one, we were up 2-0. And number two, it was a US Open Cup game. So guys needed time, which is awesome. And yeah, I think also being on a yellow card, I don't want to get red carded for the next one. So yeah, all right, so we'll play. So here we go. So ball comes over, little commentary here, gets cleared out, and we just have to, that ball needs to just be cleared away because we're under quite a lot of pressure. Tried to play inverted, and then it just, they put pressure on, to be fair to them. And that was, one of those things. So got to win the ball in a couple different areas of the pitch. Ball comes over the side, bobbles around a little bit, and then that winger just finishes it. So again, 2-1, a series of situations where we need to win that ball and kind of have the hunger. But again, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So, and then we have a third goal. So great ball over from our 6, fantastic touch from the winger. Ball comes back for our outside back. Great tackle by one of my good friends, Angelo. And the 9 just takes his time, beats 2 guys, beats 3 guys, and nails it into the upper corner. Fantastic number 9 play. That is a brilliant tackle from our number 6 center back. Under pressure, just tackles it forward into the same direction as our 9, and we go from there. So good. So the final score was 3-1. we're moving on soon to Loudoun United, so we get to play USL Championship team, which is awesome. So I'll let this play out. 3, 2, 1. Brilliant. Okay, so the game analysis is over. So that is sort of my analysis of the way I played. A couple things that I noticed that I did well. One is putting constant pressure on the winger, who is probably one of their best players. The left-footed, he's a young kid, and I think he's going to college next year. He's like 17 or 18 maybe. I had actually watched a couple of their games prior to, so I knew like he's left-footed and he's young and he's maybe inexperienced a little bit, but very, very talented, which is cool. It's always good to play against guys like that who are, kind of up-and-coming players, as somebody who's been in the game for a while, and I know he'll have a bright future so long as he, takes care of his body and does all the right things. Super important. So number one that I did well is sticking to my man. Number two is playing that hybrid role. So inverting, making sure I get on the ball a lot inside, making sure those rotations are really confusing for the opposition, which is also great. Two things that I think I could be better at. One is execution on crossing, getting in better positions to then make those really well executed crosses into my teammates. That's one thing I think I could do better. And then the other thing I think is maybe being a little bit less aggressive on tackling. Maybe that's just a referee thing, but because he called so many fouls on me for some reason, I think there was like 4 or 5 after that yellow card that it was just like, dude, no way. Like, I'm not pushing the guy. I'm not whatever. Maybe it's just being cautious and saying, okay, if he's not in a dangerous position, I'm just going to put a hand on him and, force him to go backwards and stuff, and just being cautious of that, I guess. That's kind of one thing that I've just been mindful of as being, not being overly aggressive, but also not being under aggressive as well. So we are almost at 30 minutes. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I appreciate that very much. This is my first game analysis, so I'll be much better at kind of going through this footage as well, and making sure that they're a little bit more concise. But that being said, I do really love talking through things with you from a tactical perspective. So if you guys did enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As always, be awesome, take care. I'll see you guys in the next video.